Hello all, I am back with my part 2 video of the mother wound, and this time I'm coming from a female's perspective towards men. The mother wound and how it affects males. Um, During the third trimester, when we carry our babies in our wombs, a lot of the time during that third trimester, we as women, if you haven't connected, and you know you're having a little boy, and you haven't, or a girl, I would say, but I'm speaking about boys, um, and you haven't connected with that little boy, if that little boy doesn't feel that love from you, it doesn't feel like um, he's come into this world to be loved, because the mother is already harboring hatred and feelings of not even wanting to even be a mother in the first place, or simply, just disliking the father. Then that baby internalizes that and feels that, because you haven't created that connection with that child. And so sometimes, just even there, it can cause this child, this boy, to grow up and have resentment and anger towards their mother. We see this on social media a lot, with angry boys, with men who have mommy issues. Um, so the mother wound, the definition for the mother wound is injury to the psyche of a child resulting from significant dysfunction or disruption in the relationship with the mother. All right. Whether the relationship, or whether that abuse was overt or covert, it was still abuse. Okay. The mother wound in men, um, it comes in so many forms. Like I just said, either uh, it was physical abuse, it was neglect, the mother was narcissistic, or she was just not even there at all. And that is very common, to be honest with you. Like, a lot of people don't know how common that is for men to be neglected by their mothers, um, and that really creates a deep wound there. So these men in turn become bitter, they become angry, they're misogynistic, and they're quite insecure due to this. Also, these type of men who have mommy issues, the women that are attracted to them, their father exemplified that same type of characteristic, because a lot of times women marry their fathers. Okay, so whether or not, whatever your father was, if your father was abusive or if he was narcissistic, even the good qualities, something in your father attracted you to this person. Okay, so we also have to, because a relationship is two people, we have to look at that. And there was something that's in you that attracted you to him, and vice versa. Because a lot of times when a man has that mommy wound, he is essentially looking for a woman that is like his mother. Okay. They also have a very low opinion of women because of the abuse and the neglect that they had growing up, because they weren't protected by their mother. We mothers that have sons, that try to do things in the right way. I'm not saying that any mother is completely 100% on all the time, but the ones that weren't protected by their mothers, that were abused, that were also abused sexually. They could have been abused sexually by anyone. Had it been another female or male in the household, and told no one, because men are conditioned to keep things in and not speak about certain things, especially on top of that, if their mother was abusive and wasn't very open with them, did not nurture them, and didn't show them the type of love that they needed. Especially even if they had a father who was also abusive, or who just was absentee himself. Okay. So they become very hurt and broken men. And they mask, they like to put on a mask. They're very good. And it doesn't matter if these men are, if they have an education, if they have a great job, or if they don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these men are hypergamous. You know what I'm saying? Like they can make six figures, or less. You know what I'm saying? Like the face of them changes. It doesn't matter if this person is a millionaire or just is a well-to-do person, dresses very well, looks good on the outside. A lot of times these men mask. They're very good at that. But then when they get behind closed doors, that's when they become the abuser. A lot of times these men, what they portray on the outside, everyone loves them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's that mask that they have on. Like everyone loves them. The people around them love them. They're very charismatic. Um, but then that's when they fucking went behind closed doors. That's when they're motherfucking cuckoo. So all right. And what I mean by the hypergamously attractive is that they have the money, but like I said, behind closed doors, they're very stingy. They're ungenerous. They're disingenuous. They're manipulative, and they gaslight you. They gaslight you to think that whatever it is that you think that you feel is insignificant. So they minimize their victims. And a lot of times, I saw this question that a lady was, well, I was listening to a video, and a lady was speaking about, a lot of times we ask men when you're out with them, oh, do you love your mother? And of course, men are trained to say, yes, I love my mother. But I would say that another question that you may want to ask is, how did your mother treat you growing up? Because then that kind of makes them think. And if you can see how their eyes move or shift or their behavior, then you could probably see a lot clearer right up front, who that man is and who you're about to start dating, or if you choose not to. You know what I mean? You have to use discernment with this type of stuff. So as that boy grows older, he begins to anesthetize his pain. And once he begins to anesthetize his pain, he gets into a lot of relationships. And a lot of the relationships that he gets into are very unsuccessful. With women are unsuccessful. And the relationships that he likes to get into are those types of relationships where he can gain the control, and he can be domineering, and he can be the intimidator of that woman. And in turn, she really can't do anything, because she's attracted to this person because maybe he has aspects of her father that she sees in him, or whatever she learned from her mother or lack thereof. Okay, they also have many sexual partners. They indulge in a lot of sexual activity to cover up their pain. They're very angry and bitter towards their mother, but you can't say anything to their mother. You know what I'm saying? Like the women in their life, they have to show respect to their mother, but you can't show respect. I'm sorry, he doesn't show respect to his mother. And they kind of look for you to fill in the gap for their mother, even though they can't stand their mother, even though they hate their mother. They're not going to openly say that they hate their mother, but their actions prove that they do. It's like they're always in the back of their mind, always trying to prove themselves to their mother, even though they have an issue with them. So as far as ways to heal, until they recognize this wound, until they start to see that anybody that they even somewhat try to care about, they keep losing everyone, and until they start to kind of wake up to that fact. And then a lot of times the women in their lives are quite miserable, especially if they're married to them. So this is just a snippet, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like and share. Peace.